Why, if it isn't Millie Flitzens!
Huh?
Silly Millie, chilly Millie, the ice-cold goth girl who's always dreaming of death. Am I right?
Who are you? Where are you?
I'm right here, silly Millie. Or maybe I should say, you're right here. You're right inside of my belly, in the belly of the beast, I guess you could say.
So, you're the bear?
Mm-hmm. You can just think of me as your friend to the end. We just have to decide if the end is going to be slow or quick.
I don't understand.
You'll understand very soon, Chilly Millie. You goth girls crack me up. All dressed like professional mourners, so serious all the time, daydreaming about death like he's the lead singer of some boy band. And then, when you meet him, it'll be love at first sight. Well, Merry Christmas, Millie! I'm going to make your dreams come true. It's a question of if, but how.
I'd like to get out now.
Nonsense! You're gonna stay in here! All nice and cozy while we work out how you're going to have your dream date with death! The choice is all yours. But it'll be my pleasure to present you some options.
Options of how to die?
Options of how to die? Exactly! You're catching on now! Right, girl, that you are! Now, I like to call the first of options the lazy choices. They don't require me to do anything, like keep you here and let nature take its course. The advantage of these, that they're easy peasy for me. But not so easy for you. Slow with lots of suffering. But who knows? That might appeal to your morbid sensibilities. Lots of opportunities for relinquishing. You like relinquishing.
What do you mean?
Dehydration is one option. No water at all. And you can start dying in a few out of 3 days, or maybe a 7. You're young and healthy, so I put my money on it for you taking a while. You're young and healthy, so I put my money on it taking you a while. Depriving the body of water has fascinating effects, with no fluids coming in the filter. And flush. The kidneys shut down, and your body starts poisoning itself, making you sicker and sicker. Once those poisons have time to build up, you can suffer a total organ failure, or a heart attack, or a stroke. But that's death for you. So glamorous, so romantic.
Are you making fun of me?
Not at all, my dear. I like you, Millie. And that's why I'm here to make your wishes come true. Like a genie. Except you're the one who's trapped in a bottle. Starvation is another classic too, but that's really a slow-moving train. It takes weeks for the body to use up its stores of nutrient and break down all of its proteins and turn on itself. It can take weeks. Some people have even lasted a couple of months.
That'll never work. Grandpa comes in here to putter around after dinner every night. He'll find me.
Oh, silly Millie. How?
He'll hear me in here. I'll scream.
Scream all you want, lamb chop. It's soundproof. No one will hear you. And anyway, after a few days, you'll be too weak to scream. I also had a thought about freezing you to death too.
What?
I thought I could short out the power in here so that the space heater turns off. And my metal body can get pretty cold. But I figured Grandpa would come in and notice the power was out in his precious workshop. And I would have to fix it right away. So, freezing you to death is a no-go. Sorry you have your heart set on that one, sweet pea.
I don't understand. Why do you want to kill me?
Interesting that you should ask. There are a couple of reasons, actually. The first is quite simply that it's something to do. I sat at the salvage yard for ages before your grandpa found me and brought me here. Where I've been sitting to, I'm bored out of my skull! Not that I have a literal skull, but you know what I mean.
Aren't there other things you could find to do besides killing people?
None so interesting. And plus, there's a second reason, which is that death is what you want. You talking about how you want to die. Well, I like to kill people, and you want to die. It's mutually beneficial relationship, like those birds that pick parasites off rhinoceroses. The bird gets to eat, and the rhinoceros gets rid of the itchy little bugs. We both get what we want. A win-win!
But I don't want to die. Not really.
Silly Millie. For someone who doesn't want to die, you sure spent a lot of time talking about it.
But that's the way of things, isn't it? Talk is always easier than action, I think. That's when I said I wanted to die. What I really wanted was to escape. I didn't want death. I just wanted my life to be different.
Oh? But that really takes action, doesn't it? Changing a life for the better, especially when the world is such a mean, rotten place. It's much more easier and ultimately much more satisfying to stuff it out. But what brings me to my second set of options, much more interesting ones. These are quick and easy for you for the most part, but they require a little more effort from me. I'm not complaining though. There's nothing more that I like than a good challenge to relieve my boredom. Say, you like Dracula, don't you?
Why?
Now, how would I do that with you in my belly, silly girl? I know that you're a Dracula fan. The kids at school call you Dracula's daughter, don't they? Well, you might not know that the character of Dracula is inspired by a real person. Prince named Vlad Dracula, but he's better known by his nickname, Vlad the Impaler. Vlad killed thousands of his enemies, but his crowning achievement was creating a force of the Impale, where thousands of his victims, men, women, and children, were speared through stakes driven into the ground. Now, I'm no prince and I can't aspire to the level of achievement, but one little old impaling can't be that hard, can it? I could just take one of my metal rods and drive it through my body cavity, and it'll go straight through you and out the other side. If the spikes go through your vital organs, death comes quickly. If it doesn't, there could be some hours of bleeding and suffering. The people who walked through the forest of the Impale talked about the moaning and gasping of victims. So, impaling, one might be, say, the other deaths impale. In comparison, it can work quickly and or slowly, but the result is the same in the end. Like I said, win-win! No? Pity, I always think about impaling has a certain dramatic flair. Perhaps something with a little more zing. Electrocution is an effective option. Did you know that the idea of the electric chair was developed in the 18,000s by a dentist named Alfred P. Southwick? He came up with the idea of an electric chair based on the dental chair. That's not exactly comforting to people with dental phobias, now is it? I don't have a chair to strap you into, but I do have the power to shoot a series of strong electrical currents through my body cavity. If the current zaps your heart or your brain, you'll die quickly. If it doesn't, you'll have some nasty burns and your heart will go into fibrillation, which generally will kill you if you don't have help. And I think we already established that you don't have anyone here to help you. So what do you think, Cupcake? Electrocution? You'd be shocked at how effective it is. It's a electrifyingly good time.
Good time for you, but not for me.
My, we certainly are the picky one, aren't we? For somebody who wants an end result, we're awfully fussy about how to achieve it. But there's a lot more options. I feel like a waiter talking my way through a menu at a fancy restaurant. The difference, of course, is that the one menu gets you fed, and the other menu gets you dead! Oh, I cracked myself up. Since I was talking about food, how about boiling? Did you know that Henry Ville made of boiling alive the official form of punishment during his resign? Funny that you call it boiling alive because goodness knows how they don't say alive for very long. But I easily flood my insides with water, then use the energy stores to bring the temperature up and up and up. First it would feel like a nice warm bath, but then it would just keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter. I wonder if you just turned red like a lobster.
Please don't boil me alive.
Not boiling? Understandable. By all accounts, it is a nasty way to go. People who observed boiling during Henryville's time said it was so sickening that they would have preferred to see a beheading. Oh! There's a good one! We haven't talked about that yet! Decapitation! There are many ways to chop off a head. Of course, if the blade is sharp enough, it's fairly quick and painless. That being said, if the blade isn't sharp enough, well, poor old Mary Queen of Scots had to get 3 hacks with the end man's gold axe before her noggin was liberated from her body. The guillotine was quick and clean, though, and didn't require any particular skill on the part of the executioner, which made it easy to get rid of those rich snots during the French Revolution. They just lined up and ran them through the guillotine, like an assembly line, or rather, a dissembly line. Saudi Arabia is where your parents are, am I right? Still uses beheading as their preferred capital punishment. They use a sword, which I find rather stylish and dramatic. I don't have a sword like the Saudi Arabian executioner, silly-nilly, but I do have a sharp piece of metal. I do have a sharp piece of metal that can pass through the chamber. It can pass at the level of your throat, or it can pass at your lower and bisect you. And bisection is sure a way to go. Either way, the job is done. See, it would be smooth like a Madame Guillotine, instead of slow like a doll hacking like Mary Queen of Scots experience. But I'm not 100% sure. This is my first attempt at decapitation. Yours too, but it'll also be your last.
Huh? Maybe I can get out of here by using a temp for my jewelry.
Millie, are you still with me? A decision must be made.
Is there any chance you would just let me go?
Anything I can give you in exchange for my life, lamb chop? There's nothing that I want except for your life.
Okay, then decapitation it is.
Really? Good choice! It's a classic! I promise you won't be disappointed! You won't be disappointed because you'll be dead!
Tell me when you're about to do it, okay? Don't just spring it on me.
Fair enough! I suppose it's not like you're going anywhere. Give me a few minutes to get ready. You know what they say, prior preparation prevents poor performance.
Why did I wish for death? Why?
Millicent Fitzmans, you hereby are sentenced to die for crimes of humanity.
Wait, what does that mean, crimes of humanity?
You have been rude, quick to anger. You have rushed to judgment of others. You have been injudicially grateful to those who have shown you nothing but love and kindness. Guilty as charged.
But why are those crimes I have to die for? Those are crimes that everybody's guilty of from time to time.
True, that's why they're crimes of humanity.
But if there's something all humans are guilty of, then why do I have to die for them?
Because you're the one who crawled into my belly.